everyone, welcome back to the So Vintage series. In today's video we are going to be doing darts, my very first darts. You know, I was really intimidated by darts before. I thought they were going to be incredibly hard because I've heard, you know, if you do a dart wrong it looks really bad, and it went really well, so I'm excited to show you guys. And we are going to be pinning and sewing the shoulders, and we are also going to be pinning the sides. Now, I elected not to show the sewing of the sides in this video, but rather in the next video, because my sewing machine got all like crazy up on me. So I wanted to be able to actually show you how I fixed that problem, because I think it's a very common problem with sewing machines. So I didn't want to make this video incredibly long, so that's why I chose to keep the stitching of the sides out of this video and put it in the next one. So I hope you guys are cool with that. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So we have the markings for the darts. So what we want to do is we want to pinch that, and I'm going to actually fold it right in the middle of where our dart marking was. And I'm going to place a pin up at the very top of the dart, and I'm going to place a pin at the very bottom of the dart. We place in more pins because I want to make sure I get a nice line for my darts. Because one thing with darts, when you stitch them, you don't want any puckers in the stitching, otherwise it won't lay quite flat. And because of the no puckering rule, when we stitch this, we're going to start from the bottom and stitch up to the top. Because what we're going to do is we're going to back stitch down here to keep it in place, but we're not going to up here. We're actually going to tie a little knot so it lays flat. We're going to do the same thing for the dart over here. Okay, and then when you get to the end, because we've been sewing at an angle this whole time, you just want to manually turn your wheel until you essentially run right off of your fabric. There you go. Now we're not going to back stitch. We are going to trim, and then we are going to make a knot of our own. And then again, the reason why we're doing the manual knot instead of back stitching is because the back stitching can cause sometimes a little bit of bulk, and you want your darts to lay as flat as possible. So a hand knot will do that for you. Now we're just going to do the same process for this dart. Okay, so this is our bodice back, and these are our darts right here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to press these towards the center so they lay down flat. Okay, so if you can see here, there is our dart. As you can see, we've got those nice slimming tailored lines for the darts. Lovely. Now we take the piece that we just sewed the darts into, which is the back piece, and the front piece, which we've gathered and stitched to the lower bottom piece. We are going to attach these two pieces at the shoulders. So I'm just going to lay the bottom piece down, the top bodice piece on top of that, and then I'm going to match up my notches on both sides. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just make sure that my notches match up exactly. And then I'm going to pin in the fabric, and I'm going to pin towards the edge of the fabric. Then what I like to do is kind of just smooth the fabric pieces until they're matching up. And again, just pinning those pieces together. Then I'm going to match up the opposite corners here. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other shoulder. The shoulders that we pinned together, we are now going to stitch using a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And yeah, just a regular stitch. Another great reason to put your pins in facing the edge is that when you're sewing, it's a lot easier to pull out the pins from the side than have to pull it out there. And then when you get to the end, be sure to back stitch. Okay, now those same shoulders that we just stitched, we're going to go ahead and take our pinking shears and we are going to trim the edges. And again, pinking shears, what they accomplish is they help to keep the fabric from fraying over time. Because as you can see, this edge here was cut with regular scissors, and you can see it's already starting to fray. And then the pinking shears, you get a little fraying, but because it zigzags into the fibers of the fabric instead of cutting alongside the fibers of the fabric, you're going to get much less fraying. Then what we're going to do is we are going to press open our seams. So the same piece that we've been working on, we're going to pin and stitch the back and front sections together at the sides. Now it does specifically say that the right side we're going to stitch below the square and the left side between the square and the circle. And the reason why those are going to be different is because we're going to have zipper or snaps on one side of the dress. So we want to be sure that we're stitching correctly so we don't stitch closed what would eventually be the zipper opening. Left side, we're only going to be stitching about that much. So let's go ahead and pin that left side. And what I'm going to do, because remember, this is the piece that had the funny notch in it. So we're going to meet up these two notches together. And then after I meet up the notches, I meet up the end. And then I just want to smooth out the fabric between the two pins I put in. Because even though I'm only going to be stitching that really, really small section, I want to make sure that my fabric's laying exactly how I like. Okay, so now that that side is pinned, we're going to pin the other side. Both sides are now pinned, but if you accidentally, I don't know, say did the same markings on both the right side and the left side, I mean, not that I would do that, because you know, I talked about that in my video and everything, but in case you did, you'll want a way to distinguish each side so that when you get to your sewing machine you don't get confused and sew it on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do is take one of my bigger pins and I'm going to place it just going sideways. So that's marked, that's the left side. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this one. And in the comment section below, I love talking to you guys all about sewing. And I love sharing ideas and tips with you guys. So let's talk in that comment section. And as always, an easy way and a quick way to show that you really love and appreciate vintage vanity in the So Vintage series is to click of the thumbs right down there. And if you haven't already done so and you want to know when new videos are out so you don't miss a minute, is to go ahead and click this subscribe button, completely free, and that'll let you know when new videos are up, because we do post new videos every Wednesday and Sundays are our sewing videos. And I say our, I apparently have cloned myself. Why can't I just, why do I have a problem saying me, I, me, we, me. See, it's so close together. Alright, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye!